Time being 7 o'clock, I'd like to open the regular scheduled council meeting of January 8th, 2024. The town of Copper Canyon. If you please all stand, face the flag and repeat after me. Flag. Flag. One nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for honor and protect the flag. Allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. There he is. The chief. Council member Johnson will not be here this evening. Next order of business is executive session. The council will convene into a closed executive session pursuant to section 551-074A1 Texas Government Code for personnel matters to deliberate and create an appointment and duties and assignments of special project administrator and deliberate an evaluation of duties and assignment for the town administrator. The town council shall convene into a closed executive session pursuant to section 551-071 of the Texas Government Code to seek legal advice from the town attorney concerning the terms and conditions of the development agreement, conditional settlement agreement, and the final plat by and between Morningstar Properties Limited and the town of Copper Canyon. Time being 7:01, the council will go into recess and will reconvene into executive session. We should be out in about 15-20 minutes. Thank you. Time being 7:25, we're adjourning from executive session, reconvening into open session. Next item of business is consideration of executive session. I'm going to move that down till after we get through the consent agenda. Next item of business is public input. Any citizen may speak on public input for a period of 3 minutes. You may on an agenda or non-agenda item. Any citizen may request an additional time by consensus of council. I have one person like to speak tonight is Jeffrey Hubbard. You please come up here to the podium and state your name and your address. Well, I typically wouldn't be able to respond, but tonight I feel a necessity to do that because we've been discussing this. So you, the citizens know, you, the people that bought those 42 lots and built homes are, and we don't like this council up here doesn't like what's there either. In 2015, our rights was negotiated away in a lawsuit agreement with Morningstar Development. I'm from a former city attorney and a former mayor, which took our powers away from us because of illegal annexation of land. And our powers to force a developer to complete a subdivision, be it drainage, road, gates, landscaping, etc., was negotiated away from us. They'll never happen again, but we inherited it. So we will work as diligently as we possibly can to help you and put pressure on the developer because the developer wants another project. So just stand by.
We appreciate it.
Okay.
You guys hold the we have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak in public input? Ted? No. Thank you. Next item is staff and mayor's report, council report, and other items. Council, my statements will be after consent agenda, and any other staff reports, liaison reports. Staff report, go ahead.
Yes, thanks, Mayor. I just wanted to give a quick update on the progress of the building addition. We are getting the final drawings completed this week. The project looks like we're in negotiations with a CMR, a contract management at risk. So that's will be presented to the council at the next meeting on the 22nd. And then it looks like the project will go out to bid shortly after that, with bids coming back in at the beginning of February. So that project is moving forward without a doubt. And that includes the parking lot. Any other questions regarding on the staff report that you guys may have?
No. We know what we've done, the financials, we're all good. Permit issue, we saw all that. The vehicles that was the police vehicles.
Yes. So the town vehicles are the police vehicles, and they're getting worked on and getting updated as far as additional lighting and docking stations. We several meetings ago, y'all approved the purchase of some docking stations from Denton County.
Good.
So we got a great deal on those along with some tough books. And so we got all those in our possession, and all of them are being installed as we speak in a couple of the vehicles. So
I have a question on the financials on the tax pool. We transferred the $3 million. on the 2.7 million that we still, that's also drawing 5%, if I'm not correct, 5.25%.
Yeah, 5.25% is what's in
on our
our
account, so-
traditional bank accounts.
So-
And then process textbook to get approved by the state.
Yep.
So that process is still running. We checked on it this past week. And then Logic, we need one more signature and we'll do a test deposit this week as well. So those funds will be deposited in there. So we have roughly about 1.1 million that'll go into text pool and about 1.8 that'll go into Logic. As soon as we get everything approved.
Even though even the bank holding account is also drawing pretty much the same thing that our investment account.
Very close, yes, within a couple percentage
Yeah.
points. Yes.
Good deal. All right. Any engineers not here? Fire department. Chief on, you got anything tonight? You always got some good news for us.
Me, but we're doing it, hopefully it's going to be your, so you're also getting typical. Get to the year, this year was big, we had about 2%. That's a good steady help to both. Years we had. Other than that, last one, the biggest news from that, December was on December 19th, the county report, judge and the commissioners they appointed are the commissioners, the ones that heard us for the ESP one, also the creation of the ESP two. Those members were the two new members, one of the ESP one was Mark Hay. Mark Hay and Jared Farwell, both will be in 2-year terms. Keith Master was finishing in 1-year terms and being a couple of 2-year. Second. Will these be two?
Thanks, Chief. Council, any questions of Chief? This, again, thank you. You've turned this whole thing around. Next item is consent agenda. Any item on the consent agenda may be removed by any member of council for individual discussion or consideration. Council, is there anything on the consent agenda you'd like to have removed for any reason? If not, the chair would entertain a motion to approve.
Stated.
I have a motion by the mayor pro tem. Do I have a second? I have a second by Councilmember Liebert. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, motion carries. Next item is action from executive session. Council, tonight we're here in support agenda item. Actually, we started a process about a year ago to start a police department. It's been a long process, we think, but it's been a thorough and very methodical process that we've taken. We got to where it was time to reach out and find someone to run that department. So I called on citizens. I reached out to people who knew people, said, we need people with experience. We need people that will sit on a board and go through the process. So tonight I want to introduce Andrea Doherty. Andre, she's a detective, Louisville Police Department. I called her. I've never met you before, until recently, and she agreed to sit on this board. Fred Barber, new resident, right? Copper Creek. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, they haven't met here, but all relevant. But and he agreed to sit on it, on that group. Also, I have fortunately, I have a great friend who knew somebody who was really fit this position, and that's Colin Sullivan. And Colin is a retired captain, but with Flowerman, I believe. And he has a consulting firm where he reaches and he does background checks and everything for different organizations to exactly what we were looking for. Colin said that we were extremely thorough. Colin, do you have any comments? You were the professional on this, I feel. And do you have any comments that you good with what we've done? Thank you. So, we put this group together. They went through 16 resumes. They narrowed it down to 5. Then they narrowed it down to 2, and they made a decision. They sent myself and Councilmember Andrews 2 candidates out of 16, and we did the final interview. And then we made that decision and passed on who we thought was the best person. We can't hire that person tonight as the chief, but we can hire him as the, what are we calling this?
Special project
Special
administrator. Yep.
Project administrator. But he is our future chief, and I would like to introduce you tonight to Roger Teague. Roger, could you stand? Roger is our future chief of the Copper Canyon, first police chief that will be coming on, but he has started as of today, and he will be working under a different title until we get our TCLOS certification, which is probably a month to 2 months away still. So you will see Roger around town in the police car. He can't flash lights, can't write tickets, but he will be out there meeting people. He will be out there getting his team, his stuff together, his uniforms, everything that's got to go. This is a big project. I can't thank these 2 gentlemen here more for the work they did. Steve on the financial, Rudy on the technical, and all the logistics of it. So tonight, what I'm looking for is a motion to support the hiring, if you would, of Roger Teague as the administrator of future project, special project, and support the town administrator in his decision.
Before we do that motion, Mayor, I'd like to just add a little color to this to say that for those of you who aren't really versed with the process or how you create a police department, it may seem a little bit, exuberant to hire somebody into a title that isn't what we intend a month or 2 before we get certification. The reason for this is because this process is anything but what you might consider to be serial or, orderly. There's a lot of things that have to happen at a lot of different times, and there's contingencies. And if we had waited to have certification, we might not have ever gotten it, because having certification requires leadership. It requires a lot of boxes to be checked that only a new police chief would very easily be able to give to us. Part A. Part B, if we waited, it would take us months, maybe longer. And we might not have had an opportunity to hire Roger into the town as our, newest employee. What I say to you all is, if it sounds a little weird that we're hiring him in today, it's because we want to secure what we need to get our certification done as fast and as painlessly as possible for all of you, and for the process of developing this department in an efficient manner. So I would like to thank, all of the citizens, external support, consultative support, and, my fellow council member and the mayor for leadership here. This has been a great process, and we've, I think, served all of the community well by trying to fit the first chief to be the absolute best. And we had a lot of people interested in this job. I will tell you, it took a lot of work and a lot of hours to get to the right pick for Copper Canyon. And to be frank, it wasn't easy because a lot of people may have great credentials, but aren't the right fit for this town. We have a little bit of a unique culture, environment, and that set of circumstances required us to be very diligent in our process of selection. So with that in mind, in that context, thanks all of you for great support. Rudy?
Well, I'll just throw in my 2 cents. I also want to thank all the citizens that stepped up. Andrea, Colin, you were really a great guy to have on the panel as we interviewed people from law enforcement. Fred, thank you very much for participating. You added a lot to it. It was a very difficult decision, but Roger, you stood head and shoulders about everybody we talked to, because as I've told everybody that I've discussed this with, you are basically what we were looking for in Copper Canyon's police leadership. And that's hopefully where we're going to end up. We are very cautious about the way we describe his position and the things we do. We are, in a sense, slightly hamstrung by the state requirements, and that's why we cannot use certain terms, why we cannot turn the lights on the vehicles and things of that nature. It's not something that we're guiding. We are doing everything possible to ensure that we abide by the state's directives and requirements, so that when they come to inspect us in hopefully another couple of weeks, they will be more than pleased by the work we've put in to getting ourselves certified, and that they'll know that they can entrust this town with running a police department. And that's where we've been heading. So appreciation to everybody that's also put in a lot of work. And unless somebody has anything else, I'd like to make a motion that we create the position of special project administrator and put Roger Teague in that position.
I have a motion, but do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second. Mayor Pro Tem, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, this motion carries. All right. My little bitty motion, but this is a great big step for our town. I'm very proud of it. It was a simple discussion that took place about a year ago right here, and we needed to do something, and here we are today, and we've done it. So congratulations, gentlemen. Anything else to be on the next agenda? Troy, are we bringing up anything on the future financial committee in February?
That's work in progress.
Okay.
Mr. Hill we're working on that. So I think we're meeting here shortly. I think we're meeting next week to kind of run through the goals and objectives and the purpose and all those things. So that's in progress.
Have anything until it comes up. So
And just quick reminder, Mayor, Monday is MLK Day, and so the offices will be closed.
Probably. Time being 7:43, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Councilor Andrews. I have a second.
I'll second.
Second by the Deputy Mayor Pro Tem. All in favor to adjourn.
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous motion carries.